You're welcome to Relationship Niche. On this platform, we talk about how we can improve our relationships, whether they are dating, courtship, or marriage. It is God's will for us to enjoy relationships. In fact, our relationships should help us get better in our lives and achieve more. Genesis chapter 2, verse 18, the Bible tells us that it was not good for Adam to be alone, God says. So he made for him a helper suitable for him. Now it is in finding and relating well with this helper that he gets better, that he moves from not good to what God wants him to be. And that is how it is, even in your relationship. It is one thing to find the person, it's another thing for you to be able to work well with the person and come to realize God's good purpose and be better than what you would have been without your partner. So today we are looking at a key aspect of improving our relationship. We're looking at knowing yourself. What does it mean to know yourself? And what is the consequence of not knowing yourself? Very important. Number one, I would want to point this out, that unless you know yourself, you are likely going to marry the wrong person. You're likely going to go out with the wrong person. You're likely going to court the wrong person. Yes. Now, in choosing our life partners, we usually will choose people that we believe we can work together. People that we believe should be helpers of destiny. People that should complement us. We have to evaluate their character, their likes and dislikes. And we have to see how these things will go with us. Yes, if they are going to complement us, their strengths should complement our weaknesses, and our weaknesses should complement their strength. But if you do not know who you are, you're likely going to choose the person that will not be of help, that you will end up having problems with. But first, what does it mean to know oneself? A good number of us think we know ourselves. Yes, a good number of us think so. But now this is it. One who knows himself is one who is aware and accepts his or her weaknesses and strengths, and how these things affect him or her, and also how they affect others. Very important. So for you to say you know yourself, you should be able to know your weaknesses and your strength, and know how these your weaknesses and strengths affect you as a person and how they affect others. Very important. Second thing about knowing yourself is one who knows himself should be able to know the effects of his upbringing, his life experiences, and his training, and even his traits on how he views and responds to life. He or she, actually. We should be able to know how much our upbringing affects us, our life experiences, our trainings, and our traits. We should be able to know, for one, we are products of what? Influence. A good number of times, until we come to a point of self-realization, we usually are just a reflection of all these factors I've mentioned. Your upbringing, your life experiences, your training, and your natural traits. They mold your character. So now, if you want to know who you are, you should be able to know how your upbringing has affected you. How it affects the way you view life, you view people, you interpret, and how you respond to people. Because in relationship, it's gonna affect you very, very much. Why? Because you likely will be expecting your wife to behave like your mother, or to behave like that sister of yours that you've seen married and she's enjoying her life. It seems to be working for her. So you think it's about doing it that way. You likely would expect your husband or your boyfriend, yes, your fiancé, to behave like your father if your father was a hero. Because you've been influenced to think that successful men should be like that. successful women should actually be, in this way. And see, you have to accept, you have to understand really that you are thinking like that because of influence, because you have seen people behave, people like that, and you have appreciated them. So unless you know the effect of such things upon you, then you don't even know yourself. Yes. If you don't know that you are behaving in a particular way because of natural traits, if you think every other person views life the way you do and responds to life the way you do, and you do not know that it is because of your temperament, so you find fault with others that don't view it that way and don't respond that way, you think you are ideal, then you really don't even know yourself. You don't know that you are actually just playing out a program. You don't even know yourself, and truly speaking, it's going to affect your relationship. So you must know yourself. You must know what makes you think the way you do and what makes you respond to things the way you respond to things. Now, consequences of not knowing yourself. First, I've said, is you're going to choose wrongly. You are going to choose wrongly if you don't know yourself. Secondly, you will not be able to change your character. You will not be able to improve in your character in a relationship if you do not know who you are. That's very, very important. In every relationship, see, we're all work in process. When we come together, we will now have to transform and then fit into each other. When you find a spouse, when God brings somebody your way, God brings the person with the potential of becoming your dream spouse. Now it is left for the two of you to work together, help each other in transforming each other to become each other's dream spouses. But can I tell you, you can never be transformed to even become the person you want to be. You can never be transformed to become the person that your partner had dreamt of, that will really be of help to your partner, unless you know yourself. A doctor cannot even begin to treat a patient without knowing what the real problem is. So you cannot even know what makes you behave the way. If you do not know what makes you behave the way you are behaving in a relationship, what makes you view things and respond to things the way you are responding to things, if you do not know what influences you to do that, you cannot even change your attitude. When your partner tells you he has a problem with the way you relate, with the way you speak, with the way you dress, you think he has a problem. Why? Because you do not even understand yourself. When your partner is even trying to correct you, you will feel the person is only trying to condemn you. Why? Because you do not even know why you behave the way you behave, because you just think you are ideal. And you can't even change yourself. You can't even change yourself. Your partner's effort to help you will also be abortive at the end of the day. In fact, your partner will be frustrated, and you too will be frustrated. You will realize you're having quarrels with your partner. Why? Because when your partner says certain things about you, you think your partner is usually just condemning you. It becomes very difficult for you to accept. Why? Because you're already seeing yourself from a particular angle. You are not objective enough. You see yourself from the perspective of your background, from the perspective of your training and your life experiences. That's it. From the things you have been fed with, that's how you see it. So it becomes difficult for you to accept what your partner is saying and then to even begin the process of transformation. Even if you want to be transformed because your partner says it, you see, it's going to be difficult for you. Why? Because you do not believe the partner is right. You just want to change your attitude so that peace will reign. You just want to change your attitude because you don't want to miss your partner, not because you think you have a problem. And that's a problem of its own. It's not going to last. So you have to know who you are. You have to know what makes you behave the way you behave. Then you can change. Now, number 2, if you do not know who you are, the truth is that you will not also be able to influence your partner. Yes. If you do not know who you are and you're not able to change yourself, if you're not able to open yourself to change, it's going to be very difficult for you to actually help your partner to change to become the person you desire. Take note of that. The secret of influencing people is to first influence yourself. The secret of transforming other people is to be able to transform yourself. When your partner sees you being transformed from where you were to where you want to be, if your partner sees you acting, accepting his or her observation, working on it, and becoming his or her dream spouse, they too will be encouraged to become your dream spouse. They will be opened to your own influence. In fact, you will be able to influence them. But if you are very protective of yourself, you think you are the very perfect person, you're not open to other people's suggestion, to your partner's suggestion, the same thing, your partner will automatically be locked up towards you. Your partner will rather listen to some other people's view, other people's suggestion, other people's advice on who they are and how they should behave, rather than yours. Why? Because you're protective of yourself. And that's very, very important. And if you do not know who you are, truly speaking, let me tell you, you will end up frustrating your partner and frustrating yourself. Yes, you will end up. Why? Because if you don't know who you are, you project somebody different from who you are. You will tell your partner, see, if you want us to move well, see, speak to me like this, address me like this. See, if you dress like this is how I enjoy it. But when the person does it, what happens? The person sees that your attitude is still negative. You are still taking offense. Because you don't even know exactly who you are. You don't even know exactly what you want. So you are like misleading your partner. Your partner gets frustrated. At the end of the day, your partner, partner ignores you. The partner doesn't take you serious again. Why? Because today you say you don't want this. That is what the other thing is what you want. And when your partner adjusts, the partner gets to realize it has no effect on you. Now, this is very, very crucial. So we need to know ourselves. We need to know ourselves. When you know yourself, you will help your partner to know you, because you will now be able to share with your partner who you are. You'll now be able to project with your partner, to your partner who you really are. And when your partner knows who you really are, then your partner now can effectively communicate who you really are. See, when your partner knows, for instance, that you can be very jealous, and you know that by your nature you actually could be very jealous, and your partner knows it, and you've shared with your partner that this is really your weakness and you're working on it. So when your partner sees you jealous, your partner can tolerate and help you with it. Or you're somebody who actually struggles with temper, and you had shared with your partner that, yeah, you have this you have this character issue, you have this temperament issue, and you had shared with your partner and you're working on it. Your partner, because you have acknowledged it's a weakness and you want to work on it, your partner can tolerate it when it is made manifest, and your partner knows that you are struggling with it. So your partner will help pray alongside and will be more patient, helping you to overcome it, rather than thinking that you are just being intentional. When you say you are a patient person, that you are not a hot-tempered person, and when your partner sees you flaring, the partner will interpret it that you are being very intentional about it, because you had projected yourself as a what? As a patient person. You had projected yourself as a very humble person. You have projected yourself as a very generous person. When your partner sees the contrary, the partner thinks you are intentional. You are just doing it intentionally, and that is what hurts, and that is what brings breakdown in relationship. So you need to know who you are, so that you can project and find help, and then you can work together. Okay, so I'll stop here. I pray you found help, you found some encouragement. So know who you are, then you can be the best that you should be. Then you can also help your partner to also be the best that he or she should be. So may the Lord help you. May the Lord strengthen you. May the Lord guide you. May the Lord help you to enjoy the bliss of relationship. Amen. Be sure to drop your comment, share the video if you find it helpful, and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.